Welcome to another episode of Leon Live. Today, I am joined by the founder and CEO of QAV in Denver, Tyson Rabani. Tyson, welcome. Good to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here, Jeff. Good to see you as always.
Yes. I'm telling you, folks, you will be hard-pressed to find in the country, I dare say, but certainly in the Denver luxury market, a better representation of what can be done with great partners and ultimately great customers. I follow you on your social channels. I'm watching your projects, and dude, we love you here at Leon.
Well, as I think you guys well know, the feeling is absolutely mutual, right? The word family is thrown around a lot. I definitely think that it definitely holds true in this relationship. Noah and I joke all the time about QAV fam and Leon fam, and the love is definitely there. And we like you guys, and it's just great to work with you.
Awesome. We're going to talk about a couple of things today, but I'm going to just cut really quick to if anybody wants to find out more about QAV and what they're all about, you can hit them up on the Go QAV website. But Tyson, tell us a little bit about your company, how you got started, and the secret sauce. You know, what is it that makes you guys unique, and what really sort of accentuates your whole process and approach?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpack there, to be fair, that we won't have time for today. But, I think the short version is, we started in a very similar way that I think a lot of people start in our industry. Um, you know, Many of us worked in 12 volt, like car audio, car stereos, or we worked at, the big box retail stores or some variety of that path. And many of us, I think, have taken a hobby and made a career out of it. And, that certainly is true for me. I was a degreed mechanical engineer working for an oil company and enough of the 90-hour weeks. And so kind of came back to the industry. And, from one thing leading to another, QAV was born. And it has been one of the best things that have ever happened to me. It has been such a life experience and way more than I could have ever envisioned, when I was starting.
Yeah.
And I look back, we're on the verge of, at this moment, celebrating 18 years of being in business in the coming months. And I kind of look at everything in chunks of 5 years. The first 5 years were very difficult getting a company off the ground. The next five, we were kind of dialing in, our flavor and like trying to get a little bit more understanding of how we want to do things. And the last five have been completely focused on how we want to do things and doing them exactly how we want to do them. And that's where you see a lot of, what people know us for today, right? Is like the showroom and our design language and how we approach projects and, what we're known for in terms of our brand has come from that. And here we are catapulting into the next, 5 years, as we'd like to say.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, it's an inspiring story, and it seems like every great custom integration company starts from somebody that had deep technical roots, might have been doing some hobby stuff on the side, and then just really found their passion. Found their passion in the things that they're doing. And I've watched what you've done with Ferrari and some of the luxury automotive. I've
yeah.
seen your videos with Mike Shanahan that you put online. Really, really inspiring stuff, and it's fun, right? It's like this is fun, and you can be wildly successful, in that fun aspect, which is really cool.
I love that word, right? I mean, we do
Yeah.
want it to be fun. What we do is cool. Like this, our industry has been so blessed in terms of, all of the contractors and all the trades. We've kind of really, been so fortunate because of the trends with technology and lighting, the trends in, mechanical systems, and all these trends have, inadvertently been keep pointing to our industry, which is so cool. But we do want it to be fun.
Yeah.
And when you work hard and you have great results, it is fun. Right.
Yes.
So I'm all on board for that. And as far as the Ferrari and the Mike Shanahan and all that, it's like
Yeah.
that's a such a great snippet of that, the kind of fun that we can have and the kind of cool projects that we can get involved in.
Yeah.
And at the same point, it's just the tip of the iceberg, which is pretty
Completely.
fun.
Completely agree. So let's talk a little bit about, you've been super busy in your space. We had a member of our team, Alex Keomani, came back and was just flipping through the pictures and telling us about, the amazing stuff. We loved it. On today's Leon Live, we're talking a lot about the power of a show space and the vision that goes into it, the thought process. Talk about your show space and a little bit of the journey, the vision you had, where you're at in that journey, and some of the results that you've seen as a result of those efforts.
Yeah, well, be happy to. So when you look at the showroom that Alex saw as of today, we're getting ready to literally demo and gut basically the whole thing and redo it, as amazing as it is. But in terms of time frame, you and I are here chatting in April of 24, and this showroom is a product of all of the knowledge and the ideas and the things that we were tracking between 2016 to 2018.
Yeah.
That's when we bought the building. That's when we gutted the facilities at that time. That's when we went through the architectural design process. And that's what we created, like what people see today. And it's pretty awesome. I mean, people
Yeah.
walk in and they're literally shocked that we're gonna, demo this place. And when I start explaining to people why we're demoing it and where we're headed, then the light bulbs click and then they go, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And we want to come back and see it. And we want to be a part of that." And the
Yeah.
reason is when I talk to my team here, I'm like, if you think of like an artist, like a musician, right? They drop a new album.
Yeah.
And these albums are such a reflection of what they're going through in life at that time, all kinds of variables and factors. And I do see our showroom very much in the same capacity. I see like us kind of dropping our next generation of who we are, our next
Yeah.
album, how we're
Yeah.
doing it. I mean, our focus and our clarity is so heightened right now. It's insane. Like people come in and
Yeah.
leave completely jazzed about like the day, the projects they're on, where we're going, like everything, right? That's happening. And
So what I got to
it's just
real
an
pause.
evolution of that, you know?
What's this album called?
Well, the best version that we have right now is what we just call it the QAV campus, because there's so
Yeah.
many little pockets of what we're designing. We've got the new showroom.
Yeah.
We've got another thing we call the QAV studio. We've got the QAV lab, and then we got the building behind us that is facilitated as our new warehouse. So
Yeah.
we'll see what it actually ends up being called. But that's just our short version of how we refer to it internally to describe all
Yeah.
the fun things.
It's cool. It's cool. It's powerful. It's imaginative, and the you will host events there. Clearly, you will bring in the clients that are expecting that kind of an experience from a true partner, not just someone who's going to sell them stuff. And and you forge these relationships for life. Which is clearly in their livable spaces, but certainly in anything else that they that aligns with your business proposition, but also the kind of places and things that they want to do. And that's looking in from the outside. I've seen that theme is when people invest in quality experiences and they're evolving them, they give their clients a reason to be back and to invite some new people into that conversation. And I think you guys are doing a great job at that.
Yeah, I love that. And when you look at like what really started it, right? So uh I basically just got frustrated of trying to present ideas off of thumbnails and pictures and all this stuff. And so, when you look at Mr. and Mrs. Smith who are maybe building a home or remodeling, they're in a fun, exciting period of time in their life and they've worked hard to get where they're at. We have to be very sensitive to the experiences that they have had or have not had. Right? We go to shows and expos all the time. We're exposed to it by going, throughout the U.S. or throughout the world, and we are constantly getting these new experiences that help shape who we are and what we're able to do for our clients. But they don't have that experience, so our facilities are there to serve as that experience for them. And so no matter what they think coming in, they leave in a positive way with new thoughts and new ideas. And that is the difference maker. it
It
is
is.
possible to make that happen without having an investment into your showroom and your facilities, because how else are they going to see it, right? You can't. It's not feasible to send everybody on a wild goose chase all over the U.S., jumping flights and going to different cities. It's a lot of coordination, and and you don't have control over it. So
Yeah, completely. And it's like some people might be like, "Hey, I can't go that far," or I'm not in a position where I can make that kind of an investment. Um, I think it starts with just a willingness to have an aesthetic and a design perspective. It doesn't have to be absolutely right for every customer. It's a reflection of you ultimately, the way you live. And I know some of our dealer partners actually do their homes are their showrooms, and they invest at that level, which is a reflection. And people ultimately want to engage with you. It's not the tech is great, but it's you that they really want to make that connection with.
those are two good points. I've done both. I've done it all. Home office evolves into home showroom, right? The garage is the warehouse. I mean, you got to start somewhere. So,
Yeah,
that's absolutely a great starting point. And a next step evolution of that is, not to your point, not to take on more capital and investing than you can,
yeah,
but maybe you do just one room that embodies some of the essence of what you're trying to show and what you're trying to create. Because at least at that point now, that's kind of phase two, and then it can just grow from there, and it will. It just happens over time, naturally, as you're
yeah,
exploring and evolving and changing, and tech's happening, and you know there's a lot of moving parts in our industry in a good way, right?
yeah.
So it's not going to stay the same anyway.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that's a really, really great insight. So the last question I have is, where does Leon fit in your thinking, in your approach? I've been, listening in on the calls with you and Noah and Alex, and we're excited about your chapter two. But how have we factored into the program for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's two things that QAV really likes to embody, right? So we want things to be designed to disappear, or we want them to be design focused. And we don't want anything on a project happening with at least the consideration of those two elements. So, the combination of those two philosophies is, birthed the idea of design first for us. And when you're design first, you want to rip carpentry, you want to fabricate metal, you want things to look like they belong in the space, like they were meant to be there. And that's a lot of coordinating with architects, interior designers, and builders, any design build partner on the project as a whole. And when you think about the things that Leon does that touch just some of what I described there, not only does it hit the nail on the head, right? Because how we want the audio and solutions to be presented can now be tied into other elements in the room, right? We've asked clients what type of wood species. We've asked clients for samples that they're using in the room. We've asked for what type of stain or paint,
Yeah,
and those all make it their way back full circle into these solutions that we're co-fabricating, right, and co-designing. So that in and of itself is very powerful, because I just find that a lot of people, they haven't quite taken that approach in terms of how they're thinking about technology in their home.
yeah,
So this gives them the almost the permission of, yeah, like, why don't you do it this way? This
why not?
is this
Yeah,
is this is better than putting a black TV on the wall. And we do that too, but we want that to be the intent. So maybe the guest room says, hey, let's put the black TV on the wall.
yeah,
But
yeah,
in the main spaces, the spaces where we spend more time, where we live, where we hang out, where we entertain, wrap in some carpentry,
yeah.
put some metal accents on it,
That's
have some
beautiful.
thought into how it's fabricated. And oh, by the way, it's all handcrafted. So that's pretty amazing too.
That dials it all in. That dials it all in. That's perfect. Hey, thanks for your time. This will be kind of we're going to call this one episode one of the Jeff Tyson show, and we'll get some other people back, and I'd love some exchange with some more of you. I have some more partners as well, so I'd love to give a couple of you guys talking and just sharing your ideas.
Yeah.
Behind you, I think I see some media decor. Do I have that right?
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
It is a media decor unit. This one's housing a TV. We told the artist that we want the idea of like maybe scuba diving. You look up through the water, you see the sun. So that's kind of what she had here, and
Love
it'll
it.
happen through the coordination of just some CAD drawings, some designs with Leon, and some easy conversations with an artist.
I love
um, but it's just such a good example of how easy it is to bring these ideas to fruition with
Yeah,
just asking a few design related questions.
a few questions. And then, of course, one of our favorite. I've shared this picture now a few different times, and I love it. Because I love both these bands for different reasons. But the autographed, sort of verification of authenticity, that just says it all. And people come in and like, oh my gosh, this is unique. It's different. I love it.
There's not enough time to even begin to hit the tip of the iceberg of the experiences that we give with sound tiles that we're seeing here.
Yeah,
Um, People absolutely love them, and
yeah,
the way we approach it, and the way we describe them, and the ability to change artwork throughout the year. It's a real thing, and this was really the first attempt to test our theory on how much our clients were going to like them or not. And
right.
you're going to see a lot more happening with this as it relates to QAV, because we love them, our clients love them, and so we're just rolling with that. We're just expanding on how we approach that.
Super. Hey, thanks for your time today. If you'd stick around as we go out, I just want to thank you. And just for everyone else's benefit, I'm going to give you a choice: Amos Lee or Devin Gilfillian. Who's your favorite?
Devin.
Okay, I'm sending you an autographed album from Devin to thank you for your time today, and appreciate all that you guys do. Keep rocking it.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for the time, Jeff. It's nice chatting
All right,
with you.
thanks. Just stay with me for a second.
Yes, I knew that you saw me. You laughed.